Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and we were the scouting staff for the Hula Bowl. Today I have with me one of the athletes who participated in that event. His name is Tyon Davis. He's a defensive back out of Tulsa. Nice to have you, sir.
Nice to be here, Jimmy.
So yeah, we felt like you had a lot going for you as a prospect. Showed a lot of great versatility. And so we obviously brought you down to Orlando for this season's Hula Bowl. But before we get talking about anything else, man, why don't you go ahead and set the stage and tell me where you're from and walk me through this journey a little bit, okay?
Yeah, I got you. Well, I'm from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Born and raised pretty much most of my life. I went to Putnam City West High School, which is a 6A in Oklahoma City. Out of high school, I went the JUCO route. I went to NEO, which is in northeastern Oklahoma A&M. It's in a little town called Miami, Oklahoma, not Miami. So I was there for a year and a half. I learned a lot there. They kind of set the stage for me to be ready to play D1 football, if I'm being honest. And then I started picking up some steam in the recruitment areas. And then, I just decided on Tulsa because it checked off pretty much everything I had on my checklist for a school. So it was like, it was an easy decision to make. And that's pretty much how I ended up at Tulsa. And then once I got here, I loved the city and the school. So I just, ended up staying here all 4 years.
Well, it all kind of makes sense. I mean, it's close to home. So, I mean, you don't have to worry about anything like that. I mean, obviously coming out of high school, I mean, some guys, have more, opportunities than others, depending on the situation. So, do know that you ended up, going the JUCO route. Before we get there, let's just backtrack a little bit to, Putnam City, talking about your high school days. Talk to me about you as a high school athlete. I know you did a little bit of track and field, but let's talk about you as a track star as well as there on the gridiron. And what you did there, at your high school.
I decided to join track my senior year of high school because they saw me, dunking in the gym. So they were like, come do track. And I was like, so I just kind of went for it. And then it turned out to actually be pretty good at it. And I did long jump and high jump. And I broke the school record in long jump. But I mean, I turned out pretty good. I went to state in both long jump and high jump. I think I jumped 6'5", 6'6" in high jump. I don't remember my long jump, but I mean, I turned out better than even I expected when it came to track. Only doing it for 1 year, so it wasn't bad. And then on the football, on the gridiron, I guess, I did pretty good. I'd say my senior year. I think I had 11 or 12 interceptions. I think I was top 2, 3 in the state or 1. I don't know. And then I led our team, to the playoffs for the first time in 20 years. So it was a really good, I had a really good career on the gridiron, I'd say, if I'm being honest. So it really kind of set the stage for me to realize of my potential of, playing Division I football. I just felt like I was a late bloomer and I just needed more exposure. And I feel like I had to get my body right as well to play Division I football. So that's where the JUCO route came into play.
So when you were in high school, did you play any other positions? I mean, yeah, you're a defensive back. I mean, you're a corner and stuff, but I'm assuming at in some ways you were an offensive player in high school, at least a little bit, right?
I played a little slot receiver, not as much because we had some really good players on offense. But I mean, I played a little slot receiver from all the way from freshman all the way till I was a senior. But I mean, yeah, I played a little offense, but not a lot. But I played it when I could.
Well, it's all good. It's just kind of fun to be able to do those sorts of things in high school because a lot of guys tend to go both ways. At that stage in their career. So for you, after your high school days, I mean, again, like you said, you ended up going the JUCO route. I know for a lot of guys, they go to JUCO route maybe because of the grades or something. JUCO is not for the faint of heart, man. I mean, it really tests you in your love of this game. But talk about the grind that you put in, with the JUCO route, going to what is it? You said Northeast Oklahoma?
NEO, yes, sir.
Okay, talk about that.
The grind was honestly unbelievable. It's something I still haven't experienced even at the Division 1 level. The rules are a little more lax there, so there was a lot of 3 days in the summers in the heat, 6 a.m.s, and it's 2 degrees outside and the field's frozen solid. There's probably 150 guys there, but there's only 100 helmets maybe. So we're cutting guys. They can cut guys anytime they want. So it was kind of like a how bad do you really want it type of thing. So that really like woke the dog up in me. Like it really just showed me that I really love this game. So let me prove it to them and prove it to myself how much I love it. So it definitely something I'll never forget, and it definitely shaped me to be who I am right now, honestly, because I never lost that chip or that dog. They kind of helped me figure out who I wanted to be, and so it's definitely a grind that it's not for the faint at all.
No, I feel you there. So, I mean, obviously, when you go the JUCO route and you go through this grind, which is, like you said, I mean, they got away with a lot of things, but it really tests you as to whether or not you truly love the game. And so I guess I have to pose that question to you. I mean, obviously you love it, but why do you love this game so much?
I love this game because man, it's just like I feel so free out there on the field, and it's taught me so many things that I can use just in the game of life, like discipline. It kind of taught me how to love working out. I just love performing and I love competing. That's the big thing. I'm a very competitive person, so me to play football and it's like mano a mano at my position. So it's that's really why I fell in love with football, because it's literally just 1-on-1. Who's better at my position when the position I play. So that's really where that love started. I'm just an extremely competitive person and I want to win in everything. So that's what
Yeah,
started the love for
yeah,
sure.
man. When the ball's in the air, like hey, that ball is yours. You have just as much right to that ball as the receiver. So,
Exactly.
people gotta respect that for sure when it comes to defensive back play,
Exactly.
because they're always throwing them, them flags like they have to every damn
Man.
play. Anyways, so you found your way there to Tulsa. And I'm assuming what's your academic status like? Did you already graduate?
Oh yeah, I already graduated. Yes, sir. I
Okay.
graduated on time too here. I graduated in 2022. So yeah, I'm all good on that.
Nice. What did you finish up with there?
Oh, like my major, like my degree.
Yep.
Oh, my degree's in business management.
Nice. So,
Yeah.
I gotta ask the question though. I mean, obviously the dream is to get to the NFL and play football, but I mean, if that wasn't an option, or maybe 10, 15 years down the line, what do you see yourself doing?
Well, hopefully by then, regardless of football, I kind of want to be able to finish this while I'm playing football. When I want to get my master's degree for sure. Preferably from the University of Tulsa. That'd be dope, but I wouldn't really care. But I want to, work. I kind of want to work in the business side of not just football, but just like a sports organization. Period. That's why I wanted to major in business management so I could see how the business side of football or basketball or whatever works in the front office. And just start from there, and maybe end up a president of a basketball team or a football team. Whatever, but that's kind of my goals. I want to stay in the sports world, but not like a coach or anything.
Sure. Well, I mean, getting some kind of a business degree is certainly going to help you regardless, but nice to be able to have that under your belt there for sure. So, um, let's talk about some football there at Tulsa. Obviously, like you said, I think you had like a year or whatever in JUCO, and then you ended up transferring. But go ahead and talk a little bit about that defense and where you fit in that secondary.
Well, when I got here, I was what was the smallest corner we had. All the other corners were like, 6'3", 6'2", they were experienced guys that were, and our coach was like, we had a really good coach back then. So he loved tall corners, but I mean, when I got here, we kind of like, put in packages for me to start playing like right away, like our dime packages to put me in the slot, because I actually love playing in the slot, which a lot of people don't even realize. But that's kind of where I got my first like 10 snaps of college football was in the slot before I even started playing outside. So that definitely like set the stage for me to for everything else basically. Like yeah, my first snap was at Michigan State in the slot. So that's what people don't realize. Because I was the smallest corner we had at the time. I was skinny. I just got here that summer, so I wasn't really acclimated to like the weight room. I wasn't like, I wasn't physically as ready as I should have been. But I mean, like that would come with time. But that was my first year here, and then the second year, I think it was COVID year. I kind of went back and just started lifting. Trying to get physically ready because I felt like that's the part that was lacking the most at that time. So I just went back. I put on like 15 pounds. I got to like 180 probably by the time the fall rolled around because of COVID and whatnot. And, I was playing a lot more then. I started, a few games that year. We were rotating every series. I was basically like felt like a veteran at that point, because I was playing with guys that I knew were going to be at the next level. And he was one of the guys I played with got drafted by the Blackhawks last year. So I knew I could play at a high level. And it was just cool to be out there and just knowing that I belonged. And that's what it felt like my second year here. And then, the third year rolled around, and now was my time to shine, basically, because, the guys transferred from here. And I was the one that stayed. So third year rolled around. It was my year, I felt like I was physically ready. I didn't know if I was mentally all the way there when it came to like the football smarts and just things like that. But I know I was physically ready. So kind of just went with it. Started off the year, not as good, but I definitely finished as strong as I think I could have, honestly. It definitely led to the momentum of this past season. And this past year, I feel like I had a really, really good year. I think it's a little, people are sleeping on me, but I mean, that's okay. But I know I had a really good year. And the people that watched the film and watched me know I had a really good year. So that's all that I really cared about. But yeah, this last year was definitely my favorite years, my most fun year I've had at Tulsa. Probably because I was just playing good, but that's just me being selfish. But no, it was a fun year though. I learned a lot. I feel like it all finally came together in this last year. So that's really what I love seeing the most, if I'm being honest.
Well, it's nice to kind of share a little bit about that. I mean, again, like I had started out, one of the biggest reasons why we decided to invite you to the Hula Bowl is that we felt like you had a lot of good versatility to you. You mentioned a little bit your really just your desire to play like the slot or nickel position. Is that kind of how you see yourself transitioning to the next level, or what would you say?
It's funny because what my second year, my coach was telling me like, hey, like there's like the NFL, like they want guys that can strictly play in the slot now. This was like 2020, so like this was like when the slot corner was like just picking up steam to be like its own true position. So and I was just like, like I don't know, I just like playing corner. Like I don't really think about strictly slot. But now, I mean, honestly, I'll play the slot. Like, I love playing the slot. It's fun, man. It's you're in a lot more action. I'll say that. That's one reason why I love playing the slot. But I don't care where. Like I can play outside, inside. I don't really care. Honestly, I don't have a preference. But
Well,
if it's the slot, then shoot, I'm all for it.
I just kind of feel like that's one of the things that just kind of sets you apart a little bit because you started a lot of games on the outside and you have that experience, but you do have the innate ability to come inside and play that slot very effectively. Hopefully the rest of the NFL sees it that way because I mean that's one of the reasons why we made the call.
Yeah.
Dude, let's talk about that call and just your overall experience with the Hula Bowl real quick, man. I mean, there was a week long of a ton of activities.
Yeah.
and practices and all this other stuff. But go ahead and talk about your experience with the Hula Bowl.
My experience was, I thought it was a pretty amazing experience. The weather was, dope as always, Florida. But, I met a lot of really cool guys that, I still keep in contact with. I see them all the time on Instagram and stuff. We talk and whatnot on there. So that's pretty cool. I learned a lot from those guys as well. Little jewels, little tips here and there, how they see things, that I probably didn't see, but, coaching each other up and just things like that. But it was definitely a great camaraderie going on with those guys. We kind of, weren't really competing with each other. We were trying to better each other, I guess you could say, because we're all trying to get to the same point anyways. So we were all just, pushing each other, giving each other tips and, things like that. So, I mean, I loved my experience. It was a great week. It was a great game too as well. I had fun. I had a really fun practice. All the practices were fun. It was cool seeing all those scouts out there. Just all those things. It was an amazing experience, man. I tell my friends that I'm working out with and training with all about it. So it's pretty cool.
Well, that's great, man. Appreciate you hyping us up to all your buddies there.
Definitely.
We definitely feel like we had a really good roster. I really loved our corners because I felt like we had a lot of great versatility with some big guys and some guys there in between that can do a whole lot of different things. So again, we are very thankful to have you. Um, I do want to just kind of ask you also, man, there's a whole lot going on at the Hula Bowl. I mean, we had some other events. We had a Hall of Fame dinner. We had a financial seminar. We had a lot. But another thing that you had going on, hopefully, is some interviews. So tell me real quick how those interviews went, man, and like maybe ballpark, like how many of them you got.
I think I talked to 7 or 8 teams, I think. But the interviews were it was very interesting, I'd say. They all kind of asked the same questions pretty much. Like majority of the teams asked the same exact questions. Besides a few where they did it in their own style. But the interviews were really, really cool. I met a lot of people that learned a lot of teams that I had no clue were even interested in me or even knew who I was. So that was a cool start. But I learned a lot from just those interviews, and they just it got repetitive for sure. But I mean, I'm not gonna complain. Like, who cares? But it was definitely really cool, and I learned a lot. And I know those guys did their homework. I can tell you that much. They knew a lot.
Well, they're professionals. They're
Yeah.
supposed to. So, um, well, hey, Tyon, I mean, I know you had a really nice career there at Tulsa, and that culminated with a good Hula Bowl outing. And so I kind of want to get your your opinion, your take. What do you feel is like some of the like best moments of your career, like some highlights, maybe even if it was a game or even a specific play that you always go back to?
A specific play I always go back to would have to be there's a few, but one specifically is probably the bowl game we were playing in 20 or last year, I guess, against Old Dominion when I saw the guy about to go score a touchdown basically, but he started jogging towards the end zone and then punched the ball out before he got to the end zone, and it ended up being a touchback. And that's definitely probably my favorite play. I still get people still tell me about that play to this day. It's definitely one of my favorite plays.
Oh man, there's so many times when guys like either they're showboating or they're just not paying attention, man. Like
Yeah, he was
you
showboating.
you definitely got to hold on to that ball real tight and make sure that you cross that goal line before you spike it or do anything with it, man. Um, gosh, I've seen that happen all too often now. But
Exactly.
that's cool that you had that play though, man. What about you had a moment maybe where you had an interception that you can maybe talk about, like your favorite interception?
Oh man, my favorite one's probably definitely it was the game sealing interception. Actually, it was against it was this year against Northern Illinois. They were driving. We were only up by 3 with like a minute left maybe. And I was in the slot actually when I caught this pick too, which is crazy. But he just ran like an over route. The ball got tipped in the air, and I just luckily I was just right there, right behind him, and like literally fell right into my hands. And then yeah, the whole crowd just went, everyone just went crazy. But that was probably the coolest one because it was interception.
Nice.
That's another
Obviously a lot of great moments. Definitely make some people go back and turn on the tape and see you doing a lot of great things. Um, Tyon, I want to take a moment to step aside from football a little bit and maybe talk about something that's not football. Anything about you that you feel is interesting or fun, whether it be hobbies or other personal interests. Give me something about you that maybe not everybody knows.
Man, I don't know. I don't really do too much these days. Honestly, right now I'm just man, the dog's in here. Oh, my bad.
It's all right, man. Tell me what kind of dog you got.
Oh, it's a bully, man. He's
Oh, look at that.
yeah, he's
Love it.
huge. It's a puppy, but no, but interests I have. I mean, I love listening to music these days. Honestly, I'm not the one to write music or anything, but I'll listen. I'll listen to some music, man, and I definitely I enjoy playing the game like typical uh at college athlete these days. I love playing the game. Whether that's 2K or Madden or something like that. I'm a boring person. I don't do too much. I just I'm just always chilling.
All right. Well, what's your vibe? You said you're a music guy. What's like maybe your favorite?
It depends on the time of like the time of day and my mood, honestly. But for the most part, it's usually rap, or if I'm feeling like it's like a chill vibe, it'll be like R&B. Not a big country guy, but despite what people may think, because I'm from Oklahoma, but no country vibes here.
No, it's okay. I understand. So, um, tell me about your hometown if you don't mind. I mean, if we were to come visit you in your hometown, where would we have to go? What would we have to do?
Oh, okay. See, man, there's a lot to do there nowadays. Actually, you can catch a Thunder game. You can the scene that the night scene there is incredible, man. We have a new fit like a dog park where you can like literally bring your dog, and it's like it's like a bar for dogs. It's really cool. Like the Olympic trials, like they always host them in Oklahoma City. Like it's a city that's definitely on the come up. There's amazing restaurants. I love it there. Honestly, there's so many things to do there now. More than when I was a kid. There's a break town where there's like a Toby Keith's restaurants there. Like man, there's so many things. And like it's the list is endless. There's just so many things, and like it's kind of turned into like a Texas type of vibe to me, which is like crazy, but I don't mind it. But it's definitely on the come up. I'm starting to really like it. I'll say
All
that
right.
much.
It was you were almost sounding a little sacrilegious there talking about the other state, but I mean it's okay.
No,
Um,
I love Texas, man.
no, it's all good. Hey, Tyon, obviously right now, you have a lot going on. You're training for your pro day. Um, can you just share real quick, when is that pro day, and what are some of your personal goals and expectations?
Pro day is March 28th, and it starts at 8 a.m. I think, bright and early, so that'll be fun. Honestly, the only thing I'm focused on right now is the 40. That's no, I'm not stressing about it, but that's where my focus is at. Like that's all I'm not thinking about, but that's what I want to excel the most in because people think I'm slow, so I gotta wake up some doubters here pretty soon. That's gonna be fun. But that's pretty much like literally all I've been not working on, but like just focused on when I'm doing the work. So
Nice. Well, with your basketball, thing and your track stuff, I mean, I'm pretty sure that your vertical and your broad are going to be pretty sweet.
no, yeah,
Um,
that'll be fine.
so
Yeah, I'm
that
not.
we ain't got to worry about that at all. It's more so this 40. So, um,
Exactly.
but anyhow, obviously, really something to look forward to here next month, and hope all goes well with that.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and close up shop. Do appreciate chit chatting with you about stuff, and like I said before, we are very happy to have you at the Hula Bowl, and felt like you really did well representing us well, and really rounded out a very solid group of defensive backs. But why don't you go ahead and close us out with just kind of talking to all those teams out there, man, telling them why they need to stop sleeping on you and draft you, and all that. So, and what you would really bring to their franchise if they took a chance on you. So go ahead and hit them with that.
Man, I don't even know. Well, stop sleeping on me because I'm not slow. That's the first thing. I don't know where people are getting this and this thing from, but he even knows I'm not slow, as you can see. But no, get out of here. But no, I think they're gonna get like a great guy that's a great person off the field just as on the field. I take my work serious. I'm a guy that's I don't get in trouble. Whether that's on the field, off the field, doesn't matter. I'm a pretty low key guy. I'm pretty much focused, man. I wanna go to the NFL. I know I can. I know I can play at the level. So it's just up to me to prove them now, because all eyes are on me. But now I just got to prove to them that I can, run fast and hit the weight that I need to hit while I'm running fast. So that's kind of where my focus has been. But yeah, these teams are, they're gonna get a ball player, man. That's all I can say. They're gonna get a football player, not a corner. I'm a football player. I can play, corner, slot corner, safety. I really don't. I think I can play it all. That's just me from being being selfish. But
No, that's
in my
fine. I
point of view,
mean,
I can play it all. So that's the kind of player they're gonna get. So that's what I'd have to say.
no, that's fine. I mean, I definitely agree on a lot of that, and feel like you do bring a lot of great versatility where you can be moved around in that secondary, but also a very good disciplined player. And like you said, on and off the field is going to get the job done, and a great team player. So, but do wish you very best of luck in this process. All right.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Sure. Once again, Tyon Davis, he's a defensive back out of Tulsa. Definitely check him out.